Hello, everyone. So today I'm going to be covering how to, or what to consider. Let me put it this way: what to consider as you show up in 2022 to ensure you gain from this year exactly what is going to serve you and the greater vision for your life. All right. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. So stay tuned. Welcome to our podcast, designed for psychologists, therapists, and counselors who want to take their business online and live a soul-nourished and profitable life without compromise. If you want to know the secrets used by practitioners just like you to navigate the global e-learning market successfully, then you're in the right place. I'm Dr. Talene, chartered psychologist, business mentor, and your host, and welcome to the Abundant Practitioner Podcast. Hello. So first and foremost, happy New Year. I hope your New Year is off to a great start. And this is the first episode of the year. And it was supposed to be last week. You might have noticed that, you might have not. It was supposed to be last week and it's just happening today. Okay, so it's just been all systems go since 2022 started, came back from the festive season, spending it with family, and then it was just back in it, serving clients, serving our team, and showing up for life and all the things. I just wasn't able to get out an episode last week. So apologies. And, if you missed me, sorry, but I'm here today. Okay. And I still think it's very, very relevant to speak today about 2022 and about setting yourself up with just the best possible intention for the year so that you can really shine your light bright and show up in the way that you're being called to show up, and navigate your world in the way that you're being called to navigate it. And maybe that means some change, maybe that means some growth, maybe that means some learning, maybe that means some unlearning, right? But that's what I really want to talk about today, because it's a powerful number, right? Wow, 2022. Whew, so much alignment in that. And then yesterday was my sister's birthday, but it was like the powerful number 11-1-2022. It was like, oh my god, like all these power numbers coming at us, as the year begins. And it's like I wanted to use that as a message to say, like, what could you consider to ensure that you are in alignment as you step forward this year, right? We're still in January, it's still early days. Regardless of whether you've done New Year's resolutions or you don't do New Year's resolutions or whatever, I think it's a really important time to be able to assess where you are at currently for your life and how in alignment it is with your vision and with your values or not, right? Because by showing up and assessing that and recognizing it for yourself, not for anybody else, like you don't have to share that information with anybody, right? But just for yourself, that self-acknowledgement of this is my life right now, right? And this is what I want for these areas of my life. And just taking stock is going to serve you so well, because often what happens in life is that people are just on the treadmill, right? They're just moving, they're just going through the day to day of life. Like before they know it, a week's gone, a month's gone, a quarter's gone, a year's gone, and they're like, oh my gosh, okay, I've accomplished all of this, but they hadn't taken stock of what they ultimately want. And so even though they have had some movement in the year, when they look at the bigger picture of things, of what they're being called to do or what they're being called to create or how they're being called to show up for themselves and for their family and for even beyond that, right? They look at it and it's like, I was just going. I was just going. I was just moving. I was just going through life, the day to day, and just kind of not really tuning in that there's not been the growth that could have happened, the expansion that could have happened in alignment with a bigger vision. So that's really what I wanted to bring to your attention today for this episode, is for you, whenever you get to listen to this or hear this or see this, to really be able to sit down and grab out your journal or pen and paper or the back of an envelope, whatever, right? But like seriously think like, what lights me up? What lights me up? What brings me joy? Like what do I just do naturally without even thinking? Like, what am I tolerating in my life, or what have I been tolerating in my life that I'm just not prepared to tolerate anymore? Like, where am I overgiving? Where am I bending my boundaries and not, where am I self-sacrificing? Like, and just really assess like how your life is right now. Yeah, we are, like we've had quite a big 2 years, right? We've had a global pandemic, we've had other worldwide events, we've had Black Lives Matters, we've had um Omicron now, we've had vaccines, we've had lockdowns, we've had all sorts of things going on top of your own life, right? Whatever's going on in your life might have been happening as well. People have experienced loss, whether that's loss of loved ones, whether that's been loss of work, right? Whether that's loss of whatever, right? There's been a lot of movement and change in the past couple of years. And if we look at what we could gain from that, is to be really able to be in a position right now where you can stop and say, this is a year of alignment for me, and what needs to happen for it to be aligned? What needs to happen for it to be aligned in terms of the way I work in my professional life? Eh, uh, is the way that I show up for my clients right now, does it light me up? Do I know that I'm working with my clients in the way that would best serve them right now? Is it how I'm being called to work with my clients? Or am I compromising? Am I trying to fit in a box because of where I work and they want me to follow this particular structure and system? And I like to work more holistically and bring in all different parts of me. Like, what is it about your professional life that is in alignment? And what is it about your professional life that just not sparking joy right now? It's just like you're so over it. It's just like, I'm done. I'm over this. I do not want to continue in this way for the next year or beyond, right? And just make those like acknowledgements, right? Because once you acknowledge something, you can start to put things in place that start to move the needle and shift for you. What is it for in terms of when you think of your health and your well-being and your spirituality, right? And in terms of like, how are you right now? Like, what is life like for you? What would feel in alignment with you? What is it in terms of money and finance? Right? How much are you earning? Are you okay with that? Are you able to earn enough that is for you and your family? Are you able to earn more than enough that is more than enough for you and your family so that you can give back and contribute? Right? Are you able to um working in a way where you're able to create savings? Like, are you able to send money to a loved one if they needed it, or like help somebody? Like, where are you in terms of your financial position? And it's just about acknowledging it and being like, well, is that what I want for my life, or is it something different? And if it's something different that would feel more in alignment, what could I do that is in alignment with my visions and my values and who I am and what I stand for and what I'm being called to do, right? And how could I make that all sync up? Yeah. So I just want to give you some ideas for this episode, this first episode for 2022, to really just remind you that you do not have to stand for where you are right now. Like you just don't, you can totally change things. And it doesn't matter that it's, the 12th of January, the day I'm recording this, and it's like 12 days in, and maybe you expected more for yourself for January and blah, 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 whatever, whatever, whatever. Today is today. Okay. Like you're listening, you're hearing this message today, whenever you hear it, whether it's the 12th of January, whether you heard this message a month from now, it just randomly popped up and you're like, oh my God, I heard this message today. Like you heard this message when you're meant to hear this message. And when you're meant to hear this message, like just do that. Like, don't just listen to this. Don't just be a consumer, right? And this is what happens sometimes. We become like in our life, just like consuming the world around us and just watching it go by. Like, be a participant. Be a active participant in your own life and making those changes. Grab the pen and paper, right? Pick it up, even if you're scared of what's going to be written as you write. Give yourself that chance to just see, like, this is what my professional life is like. This is what my health and fitness is like. This is what my money and finance is like. This is what where I'm pouring into growth and learning. And that's a good point, right? Growth and learning. Because one of the challenges I find that happens for practitioners is that they get into a cycle of growth and learning about becoming more and more and more of a practitioner, more and more skills about a practitioner, when they also know they're being called to build a business. Right? Some of you are being called to create your own business, and that's not where your growth and learning is. And, or some of you are being called to change your relationship with money, and that's not where your growth and learning is. Or some of you are being called to change your relationship with your health, and that's not where your learning is. So, really recognize, like, is my growth and learning in alignment with the edges that I need to grow, in the areas that I need to grow and expand that are going to serve me and why I'm here on this earth in this one life that I have, right? Or whatever your beliefs are around that. Okay. Like the other areas you can think of is your home environment, right? Your home environment. Are you prepared for it to be this way? How long has it been this way? You have the power to change it, right? And so I feel like, we've had a lot going on in the past couple of years, and it can put people in a state of feeling a bit helpless, but you are so in a position, each and every one of you, to really move the needle in many areas of your life if you choose it to be that way, right? And so that's what I really wanted to come in and share for this, okay? And I really trust and believe that when you hear this episode for yourself, you're hearing it at the time you need it. And that you will take stock and really be like, what am I doing? Right? And just really take stock about that, right? And really get serious with yourself. Because if you can't get serious with yourself, why should life get serious with you, right? And show up in the way that you want it to show up. And it's got to start with you. It's got to start with you commanding more for you becoming more deserving to receive more for you, right? Because you can totally have it. You can totally receive it. And you can totally do all the things that you are being called to do and more that you don't even see right now if you just give yourself a chance. So that's my like generic message for each and every one of you, is to really say you can rise up as the abundant practitioner that you are, right? Shining your light in the way that you're being called to shine your light. And all it starts with is having that awareness, and then having the growth and learning in the areas that you are feeling like, I need to learn here now. I don't need to do growth and learning in the part that I feel comfortable in, of taking, like, or the path that just feels like the next relevant step. Like many of you are like, I've heard it many times of like, I feel like I should just do that master's or that doctorate, and that's just the way. But that's not, like, your vision is more actually, I'm meant to be creating this, and you're not learning about that. And so just really tune into what you're being called to build and create right now, and do the growth and learning around that. If you are somebody that is being called to create your own business, you might not even know what it looks like. You just know I'm meant to be shining my light in a whole nother way, right? And you are feeling that this is the area you are needing to grow and excel with right now. Then I want to just pull your attention to a couple of things that you should explore. Number one, you should explore is there is a very popular masterclass that I conduct, right? And you can go and sign up for that if you haven't seen it already at drtalene.com/watch now. Like, I'm going to watch it now, right? That's what I mean, right? Watch now. Yeah. And then the other thing as well to keep your eyes peeled on is I'm going to be hosting, I'm really excited, right? But an actual coaching experience for those of you that are wanting to position, price, and promote yourself in the global e-learning market, right? Where you're wanting to have a business where you can work with people, change their lives, help them, okay, with their transformation, and do that in a way where you're working globally, people with all around the world, right? And you are just having that freedom and flexibility and working in a way that feels expansive for you. And so if that's you and that's resonating with you, keep your eyes peeled, because we will have the Position, Price, and Promote Challenge coming up. And so it's not just going to be a challenge, but it's also going to have a coaching experience with it where you can really dive into the nitty-gritty with me. And ask questions, learn from others as well, going through that experience. So that's really exciting. I'm really, really excited. The details are coming very, very soon. Okay. Like literally very soon. So keep your eyes peeled for that. There is a fee to attach to that one, but it is really good deal, if I can say so myself. Okay, so but it's because it is a coaching experience. You're really going to gain a lot from it and come out of it on the other side of with that growth and that learning around business development. And so if that's something that's come up for you as you've been writing out, like where your areas are that you need to work on this year, because that is in alignment with your vision and what you're being called to create and how you're being called to shine your light, then I would love to see you in that challenge. Okay. And if that's not where you're at right now, that's not where you're at right now. And that equally, I respect. Okay. Because it really is about, as you move forward this year, it's about looking at what is it that you need to look at right now. Right. It's not about leaning into like the people pleasing tendencies as much as you might have been, or shifting your boundaries or over giving. It's about really respecting who you are and what you're being called to create and giving space for that. Okay. And that's my bigger message for today. And that's my, what I wish for each and every one of you. All right. So with that said, also, I want to say welcome to all the new members of the Abundant Practitioner. I'm so delighted to have you as listeners, as viewers, and here in the space. And just stay tuned. There's going to be so much more coming on and happening in this space. I've got super exciting things happening this year and planned for this space. So I'm really delighted. So I look forward to speaking with you soon. All right, take care, and I'll see you on another episode very, very soon. Thank you for tuning into today's show. We drop a brand new episode each week, so do subscribe. And if you like what you heard and you're ready to pivot the way you work and discover a new way, then go to www.drtalene.com/explore and book an appointment to speak with our team. We'll hop on the phone with you for about 45 minutes and help you craft out a step-by-step strategy on how you can successfully make the pivot just like our clients have. I'm Dr. Talene. Good luck, and let's talk soon.